Okay, you're listening to Live in Studio A with the Cyber Bullies.
That's correct.
Welcome to Davis. Welcome to KDVS. Can I get a proper introduction? Who are you guys?
I'm Enrique. I'm Enrique. Play the rhythm, guitar. Yeah.
Nice.
My name's Hans. I do the bass and the backup vocals for the Cyber Bullies.
I'm Matt. I do the lead guitar and the lead vocals, and I write most of the songs. And we're missing Tristan, who is our drummer, but he had to go.
Nice. Okay. So what did you guys think of the performance? How do you guys think you did?
Well, not to toot my own horn, but it was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
I did pretty good.
Pretty good?
I messed up here and there. I stepped on my power supply a couple of times, but I overcame the adversity and stuck it out and had a great set.
There you go. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I practiced, so I knew exactly what to do. I didn't mess up once.
Yeah, so you guys have been making music for a little while. You guys have performed a couple shows. You mentioned the Ironsides.
We have a show October 11th, which I think will be after this comes out, at Old Ironsides. But we've done some other shows. We went on tour a couple weeks ago. We went up to Portland, Oregon.
Wow.
And we played in Everett, Washington. And then we drove 12 hours back. And it was, really fun. We had a really good time.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Kiki left his phone. So we stayed at my friend's house, but he wasn't there. And he just gave me the key, and he was like, just leave the key in the house when you leave. Just lock the bottom lock. So I was like, okay. So everybody gets their stuff. We walk out the door, and I'm about to close, and I go, does everybody have their stuff? Does everybody have everything they need? I'm going to lock the door. We won't be able to get back. And everybody goes, yeah, we got it. Click. He goes, I forgot my phone. And then we couldn't get back in because he was staying at my friend was staying at his parents' house, and they live 45 minutes away, and we had to go because we had to drive for 12 hours. So he just had to sit. He sat like this in the car the whole time with his sunglasses on. And he just, for 12 hours, he couldn't go on his phone. And it was, it was sucked for him, but for us, it was great. Everybody else.
Overnight shipping?
Yeah.
$125.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I got it. He shipped it Monday. I got it Tuesday.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
At least they stay true to their word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
So describe that travel process. I mean, that's a long drive. Are you guys riding together?
We rented a van this time. So in previous, we did ride us out. We rented a Chrysler Pacifica
Nice.
hybrid. So we saved some money on gas. I don't know. It was a plug-in hybrid, but we couldn't find anywhere to plug it in.
All the soccer moms, huh?
Yeah. It was cool. I've done other tours with other bands where we just borrowed gear at the places where we played from the other bands. But these guys were like, we got to bring all our gear. So we brought everything with us. And so we had to load in and out, which kind of is annoying because it's easier if you just borrow somebody else's gear, then you let them do all the loading, and then you just show up and play. And you can rent a smaller car. But it was fine. We just drove.
How's the turnout for these events?
There was probably 1,000 to 5,000 people at every show. Yeah.
That's just how it is for us.
That's it. Yeah, it might
You guys
be
are big
it's
time,
a slight exaggeration. It's a slight exaggeration, but it was.
You guys know
it was
Dave
close.
Grohl?
Yeah, he was here. He had to go. He was here earlier. Yeah.
Man, it's a shame. So describe a little bit about your style. I mean, you guys are definitely rock-oriented. You got the punk down. Does it go any more specific than that?
No, but rock, punk. I'd say this band's maybe a little bit more rock and roll than punk. We got some songs that are real like that kind of music where the guy, when he's playing the guitar solo, he turns the guitar sideways and he kind of does this. I feel like a lot of our songs have that energy. But I don't know. It's rock music. I feel like punk is kind of a relative term to be we're punk because that's that's a lifestyle, and I don't know if I'm really fully punk, but I like to dabble in the punk.
You guys also dabble a little bit in the comedy.
I try to, to be honest,
Just how we
it's my creative outlet. I didn't do this for a few years. I was in a band for like 10 years. And then that band, we didn't break up, but we kind of just stopped doing stuff. And that was like 2015-ish. And then I didn't do a band for a long time. And then the pandemic happened. And so then it's been like 8 years since I really like was in a band. And I realized during that time that that's like my thing. Like, I don't know. It's like, it was weirdly like if you do something for a long time, you'd maybe don't realize that it's your like identity. It's like part of your identity. But then if you that stops, then I just really spent like a lot of time kind of being lost. So I'm like really excited to be back doing shows,
Nice.
telling jokes. I don't know.
Dude, he was talking about Subway. Remember when you were talking about Subway?
I did have we went when we played our show in Everett, huge crowd, tons of people were there, and I was talking a lot about how Subway cuts their own meats. I don't know if you guys
Yeah, they
know
do
that.
now.
They're slicing their own
I
meats.
love it.
And I just kept saying that. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. No, they
No.
never did before. It used to be
No.
like pre-cut meat. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This guy doesn't
Bake their
know.
own bread and everything.
This guy,
now.
you know,
I'm lost.
I like to eat fresh, you know, over there at Subway. And, you know, the sandwich artists over there are really top notch.
Their tuna's real too.
It's true. Supposedly, I don't know. I don't get the tuna.
I posted a thing on Instagram saying question mark tuna, and then somebody fact checked it. Like I got a little mark on it. We don't know if it's actually tuna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it is.
What part of the fish is tuna?
All of it.
Oh.
Tuna's actually a pretty big fish. If you see on like a bluefin tuna, it's like big. It's probably like,
Big and expensive.
yeah, really expensive. Yeah.
What are you guys eating on the road?
Applebee's.
Chipotle?
We went to
Costco.
Chipotle. Yeah, so we went. Here's our. Let me like break it down for you. What we did on the road. We went to Chipotle. First stop was Chipotle. It was. Kiki actually said it was the best Chipotle he's ever had, which I was surprised because I feel like they're all pretty much the same. But he was like, "This is the best I've ever had." It was pretty good. And then we got DoorDash that night in Portland, and I DoorDash from a place called. It was called like vegan junk food or something like that, and I got like a crunch wrap, which it was fine. It kind of gave me a tummy ache. I wish I hadn't. It was like 1 a.m. I kind of wished I hadn't ate it. But then Kiki actually got one of the biggest sandwiches I've ever seen.
I've never seen in my life.
It was. I mean, it was like this tall. It was a good 6 inches.
It was a 2-biter.
Yeah.
I got to take a bottom bite.
You took a bite.
Wow.
He didn't-
Bit off more than you could
He
chew,
didn't.
huh?
Yeah, literally, he didn't. I don't know. I mean, I think Kiki's like a big eater. Like he likes to eat his food, but he didn't finish it. That's how big it was.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was hungry.
No.
Anyways, we'll text you guys a photo and
We'll put that on
it
the
up
video.
on the gram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll add that.
it was a big. It was actually. It was big. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a highlight of the tour. I think the sandwich was. And then the next day, we went to this like vegan bakery called Sweet Pea in Portland, and me and Kiki got waffles, and then everybody else I think got like a Danish, and we all got like some coffees, and then for lunch that day, I don't think we ate lunch.
We got Taco Bell, bro.
Oh yeah, we went through the drive-through and we were eating in our car, Taco Bell, and then and then what did we do? Then the next day we went and we stopped. We went to the Starbucks in the morning to hit the drive-through. Is this boring? Should we keep talking
No,
about this?
no,
I mean,
you got
it's
me thinking. You got me
So-
thinking about food now.
So we hit up the Starbucks drive-through, and then we stopped for gas, and we were like, well, there's an Applebee's over here, and everyone was like, yeah, let's do it. And so we went in there. We all got some burgers. I think Kiki got like ribs or something.
The most food.
I got
Baby back ribs. Yeah,
So-
John's got baby back ribs.
You guys love food. You love comedy. You love music. It looks like you guys love each other.
Yes.
The energy shows. Tell me a little bit about the music making process. I mean, a couple of songs mention eating in the car and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So I was doing this other band, and then that band, we were kind of writing a record that was going to be called Cyber Bullies. That was going to be all songs about the internet and like phones, social media, stuff like that. So I started writing the songs. I got really into it because I got cyberbullied by this guy, another band, because this band was like, there was a flyer that got put out, that we put out, that had all the bands except one on there. And then another band was like, oh, why didn't you put the other band on there? Like, you know, blah, blah, blah. But we didn't know that there was another band on the show. But then I was like, but feel free to just like publicly shame us. And then, you know, next time you want to tell us something instead of just sending us a message. Because the guy was like, oh, they knew what they were doing. And I was like, and I deleted my Facebook after that. And I was like, wow, this sucks. And then the wheel started moving and I was like, I got to do like, I started writing songs. And then I wrote, what was the first one I wrote? I don't know. There was like a bunch. So then I started writing when I was making these demos. And then that band kind of, we didn't break up, but we're just like on a long hiatus. We'll never probably get back together. But I started writing all these songs and I would make these demos. And then, you know, we ended up with a bunch of songs. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to do a band called the Cyber Bullies. And then here we are today.
So how'd you guys meet?
I've known Matt since, I don't know, I was 15.
Wow.
And he was in that band Boats, and I did their artwork for a long time, and I was like their roadie. So I've known him for a long time. And then like, I don't know, a few years ago, my brand pretty much was in the same position where we weren't really broken up, but we weren't doing anything. And then he asked me when he wrote these songs if I wanted to play with him. I was like, yeah, sure.
That's how it gets us, huh? Dang. So I met him at a I don't know, we had him come play at a show in Stockton and it was great. So then maybe like a year or two later after they play, I think like recorded already, their guitarist fucking sucked. So and didn't show up. Well, that's what they told me. They had like a gig in Long Beach. The fucking guy didn't show up. Like, what the heck? That's pretty important. I think that's pretty important. And I'm super glad that he asked me to come play and I get to see so many cool things and do so much cool stuff now. Yeah. Oh, I just posted a thing on Instagram, right? Like I was playing guitar one day. It's like, let me play guitar. And that was it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That was it.
The rest is history.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now I'm in it. I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah, we had another guy that played guitar, but he just, I don't know, didn't show up. So when we kicked him out, essentially.
So
it was
you're
hard.
kind of spearheading this effort, you know, and I imagine you've gone through a lot of turbulence along the way.
Yeah, we
What's
had
been your takeaway? What's leading you forward?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like where we're at now is like a pretty good spot. Like it took us a while to get here. Like we went through a couple of different drummers before we could really like start doing the shows. So we had like a couple drummers that didn't really work out. And then we got Tristan. And then we had the one guy that was like playing guitar and then it was like wasn't as good. And then we got Kiki. And then now it's like really like, I feel like it's like meshed really good. Like we got a good group of
Good chemistry.
guys. Yeah, good chemistry. And I think going forward, I mean, like we're ready to like do some stuff, like maybe some tours. We talked about possibly going to Europe next year.
Wow.
We got a record coming out. We recorded last December, and we just got the copies of the vinyl, and it looks really good. And that's gonna be like hopefully good. We're gonna make some music videos. I feel like music videos are like the way to like get people to hear your music now, because so many people listen to music like on YouTube now, which is weird. Because like I don't know, when I was like growing up, it was like you just listen to what's on the radio. So I was like,
Right.
Slipknot was my favorite band because it was like the only thing I knew. I think I probably would have liked, you know, like punk or hardcore, but that wasn't what was on the radio. But if you listen to like the heavy metal station, 98 Rock. 98 Rock, yeah, those were like the heaviest things, and I wanted to be.
We don't say those stations.
Sorry.
here.
Yeah, and KDVS wasn't playing that. Yeah, I don't
Sorry,
know.
who?
Yeah, I think we're just like, yeah, we want to get bigger. I think we're like kind of halfway through like another record. Like we got a bunch of new songs. We played some of them today, so hopefully, you know, in another 3 or 4 months, maybe we'll go back in the studio, make another record. Back-to-back records, and then like a bunch of bigger bands will start asking us to go on tour with them, like Foo Fighters and Green Day and stuff, and that's
how it starts.
Yeah, you know, and then after that we'll probably be too big for those tours, and we'll have to do our own headlining tours, and we'll be selling out arenas and stuff, and you know, we'll come back. We'll come back to KDVS.
Don't forget
Don't
about
worry.
us.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Don't forget about us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you guys know your audience? Do you guys
No.
kind of see sort of the same people at different crowds?
You know how like on like Instagram, like you'll have like a bunch of people follow you on Instagram, but you don't know them. Like you go, like, oh yeah, we're friends on Instagram or whatever.
Right.
Those are our fans.
Yeah.
We don't know them. They, I don't know. We haven't played that. We've played. How many shows would you say we played?
I'd want to say like 13 shows.
Like 13-ish shows. So like I don't know. Like there's like I would say I've seen no repeat people.
Yeah.
I think if you see us once, that's all you need to see.
The crowd, though, can you kind of get a gauge of the crowd and
Yeah, I
and
like
who
to.
shows up?
I like to size up a crowd pretty. If I get up there and I go and nobody's like standing up in the front, I'll go, hey, why don't you come up here? And if nobody comes up, I go, okay. But if somebody comes up, then I know that they're in it to win it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I got to ask also, I got to go back. How'd you guys meet the drummer?
So he tried out for my old band, which was called Boats, and it just didn't work out. We found a different drummer that we liked more. But he's really cool. He lives in Yuba City. He works at Home Depot, and he's about to start a new job. So congratulations to him. He got a
Nice.
job. Yeah, he's going to be selling paint.
Okay.
He works in the paint department at Home Depot. But yeah, he's like the thing I like about Tristan is that he's really wants to do stuff. He's not like, he doesn't say no to stuff. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll be there. He's always the first one everywhere. He shows up super early. He's really like committed. And that was like when I was looking for people to do a band with, like that was one of my big things was like, because there's a lot of people out there where they get in the band just because they want to do the band, but then they don't want to show up and do practices and, do the stuff that you have to do to be in a band, because like,
Right.
like I'm screen printing the T-shirts and Hans is paying for the records and all that stuff.
So it's a team effort completely.
It's a team effort. Yeah, you got to, and it's like anytime we've needed something, like he's always like, yeah, definitely, no problem. I'm
No
there.
manager either? That's you guys?
No, yeah. How do you get a manager? Can you help us?
That's
out
what
with
I
that?
wonder. I guess
I don't know.
from what I hear, you just send out emails, but that you guys kind of do that
See,
already.
I've always like I've never been in a band that had a manager, but I've always wondered like because then you hear stories like like a big band will be like, oh, our manager at the time did this and that. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, so your manager does that stuff? Because right now it's like I'm doing all that stuff or Hans is doing it, and we're just going like, hey, can we play a show? Or hey, can we jump on that show?
You just
I don't
call
know.
up the bar owner. Or
Yeah,
whoever and
I
say,
send a bunch of emails, and then it's really hard for me like booking shows because like I can't take the rejection, and there's a lot of rejection where they go no,
man.
and it's just like really hard. So if there's any managers out there that want to manage us, hit us up. Our email is thecyberbulliesguys@gmail.com.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Take notes.
or just go to our website www.thecyberbullies.com.
You guys are on Spotify, SoundCloud,
Yep.
Tidal.
We're on the streaming platforms, and on November 3rd, our record is coming out on there. It will be streaming. But you should
Nice.
probably buy the vinyl because streaming royalties are very low. So even if 1 million people listen to our record, we would get like about $100.
Wow.
Or maybe like 1,000.
So buy the
And
vinyl.
Hans would get it all because he paid to put it on there. So, yeah. So, yeah. But if you want to buy a record, we'll wheel and deal. If you're like, I only got $15, it's yours for 15.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
But normally they're 20. So if you have 20, you have to pay 20.
Mm.
Sorry. No exceptions.
No haggling.
Unless you don't have enough. We'll see what happens. No one's ever tried to haggle. We haven't tried to sell them yet. So.
A trade.
Yeah, I'll do a trade.
Trade it too
Like
low.
I said, Hans paid to press the records, so it's not really. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Kyle, any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. So you mentioned that you wrote a song on the way over here. Do a lot of songs come to you while you're on the road, or?
That was a joke, but I do think of songs. I will like that song. There's a song that we did called. It's called "Haunt Me." It's a new song. I just recently wrote it while I was loading up my dishwasher, and I was like thinking about some shit, and I was like, oh, actually, that's a pretty good song. And then I started the dishwasher, went into my studio, wrote the song, and now
Nice.
it's like a pretty big hit. It's huge. Yeah.
A couple million views. And
Yeah,
everything.
people have been
Yeah.
like requesting it.
He's catching on.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it's one of the best. Honestly, I mean, it's not the best song I've ever written, but it's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as far as like, lyrics go, like I'm a bit of a poet,
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I did write. I
That was
wrote
my
that.
favorite one.
I like that song because I feel like those are the best lyrics I've ever written, and I don't know if you could hear it when I was singing it, but the second verse goes, it goes, I got a sweet set of wheels. The backseat is filled with banana peels. I'm making a ton of bread. Taco Bell, Burger King, I wish I was dead. And if that's not a good lyric, then I should just quit music because I think that's a genius lyric.
That's teetering on the line of rap music as well, man.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm a lyricist basically. If anybody wants to hire me as a lyricist, you could just hit us up at the Cyber Bullies guys at gmail.com or call KDVS. 530-754 KDVS.
There you go. Yep, you got it. You got it. So I think we covered all the bases. Is there anything you guys want to say before I let you go? Tell me how you
Calling
really
now.
feel.
530-754 KDVS. That's all I gotta say.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah.
Caller 420 gets their album.
Caller 420.
420 and Caller 69. There's 2 copies available. So 2
Nice.
chances to win. It's going to take a while to get up to 420, I think, because I don't know how many. Do a lot of people, what's our listener average? Like, how many people? This when will this air? Like, what time? Like, midnight?
No. Yeah.
10:30? Oh, that's prime time.
Prime time.
Shit,
Drive
yeah.
time. Yep.
On a Saturday night, too? Shit. That's why people are getting back in their car after they've, No, they're getting back in the car and going home. It depends on how old you are. I guess if you're like college student.
You might be stuck in traffic.
True, you might be stuck in traffic. That's true. At 10 o'clock at night, that 10 o'clock traffic rush
That
hour.
causeway traffic.
Mm-hmm.
That darn causeway.
The gosh darn causeway. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, we really like coming out here. If anybody wants to book us, our email is thecyberbulliesguys@gmail.com.
There you go. The Cyber Bullies.
Or thecyberbullies.com. Or hit us up on Instagram at @the_cyberbullies.
Well, there you go.
Some really fun stuff on there.
There you go, guys. You got it. The Cyber Bullies on KDVS.
We are the Cyber Bullies, and you're listening to KDVS Davis on 90.3 FM.
Nice. Sweet. Cool. Thanks,
Cool.
guys.